Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Paige. This is Seeking Alexandria. Here, this channel is right here, right where you are. And today we have my August ends, hits and misses, and oh honey child, there are so many. I went to the ends of the earth and I gathered them in my satchel and I brought them in here and I laid them out and I could not believe my little beady eyes. So we are going to buzz through a lot of these. A lot of them you have probably seen on previous videos, a lot of them you have not, and we're going to talk about them. If I've already talked about them in a previous video, there will not be a huge discussion about them. And if you're curious about my makeup situation, I already filmed this earlier today, so I don't know which will go up first, but when it does, it is like a half get ready with me. Oh, here's a good segue. Hold on. It's a half get ready with me, half discussing this product, which is my first miss. This is the Estee Lauder Summer Palette or something, Bronze Goddess Summer Palette. It comes with a blush and then these three shadows. You will see it in the video, so I won't give you too much information on it, but this bad boy retails for $55. Holy bejesus. It is Estee Lauder, so of course you expect expensive, but you also expect it to be good. The blush is beautiful. I'm wearing the blush right now. I used these three in that video to create an eye look, or attempt to. They were just not my cup of tea. They were very crumbly. This blue one that is supposed to be so vibrant and beautiful had like no pigment to it, and for $55 I was just like, no honey. So this is a big miss for me. Let's talk next. Ooh, how do I want to do this? Okay, let's talk about some MAC products that I am loving. I tried out, where is it? I was so much better prepared for this, but I tried out the Basic Bitch palette by MAC, and this was one of the 4 palettes that they released that were this long style. I did not care for this. However, I did care for these. This is the Whirl Lip Liner. This is the one of their regular lipsticks, their luster lipsticks, in the shade Hug Me. I am obsessed with this shade. It is just like, I'm wearing it right now. Why did I swatch that in the worst possible place? But anyways, best swatches on my face because I'm wearing it right now, and I also paired it with the third item. So all 3 of these are currently on my mouth. This is stuck in the box. This is the MAC, what is this stuff called? Lip Glass in the shade Please Me. It's just like a really nice pinky sheer gloss, and it goes on. It's so smooth. It's really doesn't have a ton of coverage to it, but it has a nice light pink undertone. I put it right in the center of my lips, and I've just been putting this on top of like every nude that I've been wearing. It's not a plumping lip gloss, so it just like sits on, you don't notice it. It's not sticky. It's just really beautiful on top of this. And then the other MAC lipstick that I'm loving that I can't find is Velvet Teddy. Oh my good lord. Either of those lipsticks paired with this lip liner and this lip glass, whew, child, you will not be upset. Let's jump into 2 that I am loving. I picked up these, I don't know if they're new to Estee Lauder or not, but they are the Pure Color Love lipsticks. These are the shades 430 Crazy Beautiful and 130 Strapless, and they are some of, first of all, I love this, how they did the tip of it, how it's just a straight line. I am obsessed with these lipsticks. They are beautiful. They are creamy. I love to wear these. I keep reaching for them over and over again. Yes, they are a high price point. I think they're very expensive, but those are the 2 shades. And like, you guys, they're stunning. And I love the formula. They're so creamy, and a little goes a long way. I was actually really surprised about how little you need to make your lips work and to make the whole like thing work. I just love them. So in general, let me get some of these lipsticks off. I have definitely been reaching for those a lot, and I can't wait to kind of work through the line, maybe pick up a couple more shades and go from there. 2 items, both of them from IT Cosmetics. One I'm loving, one not so much, surprisingly enough. Their Superhero Finer Liner, I am actually really enjoying this. I do feel like it's got a really great felt tip on it. The only thing I'm not a huge fan of is I have experienced it bleeding on me twice, so it's a little difficult. I've experienced, for me, working in the inner corners of my eye, I kind of like get a little bleeding into other areas, but overall I love this. I love the felt tip. I love how easily the product flows out of it. I can get literally right to my lashes with this thing, and it's fantastic. One product that I was really surprised it didn't work for me was their Superhero Mascara. This stuff is like renowned for being amazing. And I don't know, that's the applicator. It's a great applicator. My first go around, like my first swoosh, was perfect. I mean, it looked beautiful. It wasn't until I went in for that second coat that I was just like, what? I mean, it went on, it was so clumpy. And I've used this, I would say probably at least 7 to 10 times. I've tried it so many different ways with all different, you know, faces and situations. And no matter what, I can't get it to not be clumpy. And I don't know if it's just me, if I got a bad one or not. This has like amazing reviews. Even when I bought it from Ulta, the girl was like, oh my God, you're going to love it. It's so great. And then I was just like, okay, I was so excited to use it. And then I didn't love it. So that was definitely a bummer. Real quick, I want to jump into these bad boys. I've talked about them 100 times, so I'm not going to give them too much airtime, but these are the Infallible Pro Matte Liquid Lipsticks by L'Oreal. These things are life, and I wanted to give you a comparison or talk about this just a second. How many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, this is 8 of them. I may or may not be missing some, but I think I bought everything that was on the shelf, or almost everything that was. These things wear so beautifully. The color, first of all, the color payoff, just gorgeous. They last all day, almost like unnoticeably touched. Like they just last on the lips so well. The color is so rich and vibrant, and the only issue that you'll have with these is that there's a slight amount of tact, because they do have a, I think I read it in a blog somewhere or by L'Oreal, but they put a moisturizing property in these liquid lipsticks so they didn't dry your lips out, which they actually do not dry your lips out, so it worked, but it does make them a little bit tacky or a little bit sticky. So it was a little bit frustrating in that sense. But honestly, if you can overlook that, like I can overlook it 100%. If my lipstick, if I don't have to think about my lipstick again, which one was I wearing? I think I was wearing this red one right here in the shade Matador, and I ate a damn cheeseburger, like a cheeseburger, like from a restaurant cheeseburger, and my lips looked beautiful. There was only the slightest amount of wear on the corners of my mouth. That was it. It was beautiful. These things are just freaking amazing. Now, don't get them confused. This is the Infallible Pro Matte Gloss. This I do not like. I wore this the other day. I didn't expect it to be the same, obviously, or it would just be one of those. But what I didn't like about this is the way that it dried down. I felt like it went on beautifully, and the gloss was there for like a minute, and then when the gloss went away, I was left with like dried down, really tight, dry lips. It lasted okay. It did not stack up to its counterpart, the matte liquid lipstick. So these ones I recommend. In the frosted tube, their components are just beautiful. I love them. This one I just was not a huge fan of. I would recommend. It's not that I wouldn't recommend it. I would just recommend it less because it is drying. It sets down better. It doesn't do that tacky thing. So it does have a couple properties that I like better, but overall it's a lot less comfortable and a lot less long wearing than the matte liquid lipsticks. So this next one, I can't remember if I talked about it or not, but it is the Master Chrome Collection highlight from Maybelline. This is the only one they have come out with, I believe. It is stunning. It's in the shade 100 Molten Gold, and oh my gosh, like, I don't know if I've talked about it or not, but seriously, you guys, like, you will never find a highlight that is drugstore that is it is creamy, it is blendable. There is nothing about this highlight that says low end. I'm actually wearing it layered on my face right now. I layered it with like a really light, whiter kind of highlight, because this skin tone is hard for me to pull off. As you can tell, it's golden, and I'm pretty white for that, but even I am able to work with this highlight. It is beautiful, it is buildable, it is just, oh, it's stunning. I recommend that to everyone of every color, race, creed, religion. I do not care, unless something in your heart prevents you from looking strobingly fabulous. You need this highlight in your life. It's life. Plus, what I love about this too is that it works great as a lid color. You can use it. I went in, I was trying to like experimenting, and I was like, well, if you're in a hurry, what can you do? Well, you can take your bronzer, go into your crease a little bit, build up a decent crease color, go in with this on the lid and just kind of set it down, and you're good to go. It takes like 10 extra seconds, no extra products, and you are cracking, and it's just, God, it's so beautiful. Like, I'm obsessed. I don't think I've heard anyone that didn't like this. The only thing I would say is like, hey, hey, Maybelline, how about you make some more shades, okay? That way us pasty people have more to work with and fall in love with, because this is fantastic. I did a video on this, so I'm not going to talk too much about it, but it is the Wake and Bake oil from the Beauty Bakery. It's their face oil. I tried it in a video. I will link the video down below. I did not care for this. It did not work for me. It made my skin ball up. My makeup that day was awful. I washed my face. I mean, this was such a nightmare for me on every level. And then I said in the video, well, hey, maybe I'll try it in my hair to see if I can at least find another use for it. I did the same thing with the Tarte Maracuja oil, and my hair loves that oil. It's fantastic. It didn't work so well in my hair. I actually put it in there yesterday to like calm down the frizz, and I noticed that my hair just doesn't like it. It keeps my hair almost looking stringy, and that's not something I normally have when I use oil, like near the ends to kind of calm down what little bit of frizz I get. So this, for me, there's going to be a return hopefully with Beauty Bakery. I know on my channel I've talked a lot about how I'm not sure if they accept returns and da-da-da-da-da-da, but I'm hoping that if I call them that they will let me return it, because it was rather expensive and I'm not loving it. So hopefully that return goes well, but I'll let you guys know either way. Okay guys, we're moving, we're cranking, let's keep going. What else? Okay, next, let's jump into this guy real quick. This is the Space Race by Sunday Riley. I got this from Sephora. It is not cheap. It's like 65 bucks. And basically, it is supposed to help you fight acne, oil, and pores at warp speed. It's a kit to do just that. I was actually going to do a vlog about this, but it literally didn't do anything. They are all green. They're all meant to kind of do different things. One's meant to refine your pores. One is meant to kind of clean them out. There's a mask over here. It turns green, and it's comfortable to wear, which is nice, but it didn't do anything. I didn't feel like it really tightened my pores. I didn't feel like it cleaned them out. I just didn't feel like it did anything. I used the mattifying water toner, which is interesting because it goes on a lot like a water jelly, and then it just goes down like a toner. It soaks right into the skin. And then the Ultra Clarifying Face Oil it's a confusing name because it's not actually an oil. It's just like oil consistency, but there's no actual oil in it. And basically the two of them are meant to go in. The oil has salicylic acid in it, which is supposed to go in and help clear up your acne. I tried the mask and then both of these for about a week. And for something that's supposed to be like warp speed overnight, you know, killing bacteria, I actually found literally zero benefit to using this. For me, this was a huge pass. And if you guys are acne prone and you look at this and you're like, oh, it would be worth the money if it does all the great stuff that it says, just know that if you maybe it's because I have cystic acne, maybe it's because I have a hormonal brain tumor, I don't know. This did not work for me. Maybe it's for someone that has less intense acne. Maybe it's for someone, I just don't know. But for me, this did not work. Boy, was that devastating. But thank God Sephora has a great return policy. Okay, let's real quick jump into this. This is the Monisure Big by Lancome. It is the mascara that they just came out with. You guys, I wanted to love this so much, and I couldn't. This is another one that I have used for probably at least 5 to 7 times. Every time I put it on, Clump City, it looks awful. I just cannot make this work. And I have heard some great reviews about it, just like with the Superhero Mascara. And neither one of these I could get to work for me, and I was just so bummed about it that I'm like, devastated. Like 2 bad mascaras in 1 month. Like, are you kidding me, Paige? But this was a fail for me. I don't know what about it was a fail. It was just clumpy, and I don't know why it was clumpy. I don't know why I did not like my lashes. I personally think my lashes are very hospitable, but maybe this month they were just kicking people out left, right, and sideways. Okay, you guys, next up we have the Belka, really? Is that what we have? Okay. We have the Becca Velvet Blurring Primer Perfecting Base in Apricot Haze. This was a fairly new primer that hit the market. It was supposed to do great things, blah, blah, blah. I wore this and I did not like it. I can see, like up close, you can definitely see what it does. You can see how it works. You can see how it wears. What I didn't like about this, is that it made my skin almost... It was like putting powder before foundation because of the finish you get from it. It's like, it looks beautiful. It does blur. It does do that. Like I put it on my hand just now just to like put some on there, and it does blur out. It does blur out the fine lines in the pores, and it does look beautiful. The problem that I had is once I kept putting stuff on top of it, it was like I had put down like flour or setting powder or something chunky and then put foundation on top of it, and it made my skin have this really weird appearance and it looked chunky, and then I get oily, so it was just like a big clumpy mess. It looked like dough clumps on my face. So this for me did not work. I think maybe if you have I don't want to say dry skin, but maybe either combination, normal, maybe dry, it would work. I don't know how well it would be for clinging to dry patches, but I do appreciate the finish. I appreciate a lot of aspects of it. I just don't like how it wears with oily skin. So for me, this was a huge bumming of a pass. This was such a bummer. Now, next up, we're going to go toe-to-toe, one I love, one I don't love so much. We're going to talk about some highlighting kits, well, kind of highlighting kits. First off, let's start with the one that I wasn't in love with, and I'm so sad to say this, but it's the Anastasia, the Aurora Glow Kit. I used this initially, and I loved it. I used these couple of shades. They looked very beautiful, these lighter shades over here, and they were very beautiful. And then all of a sudden, I don't know what it was, but I tried to use some of these other shades. I tried mixing them with the lighter shades, and for some reason, I just kept getting emphasized texture. No matter what combination, no matter what colors, everything was so emphasized on my face. And I don't know what it is about them. I have another kit. Where's that at? I picked up, this was months ago, but I picked up the Alchemy palette, oh my good lord, by Kat Von D, and it has those same kind of colors. It's not the colors that I'm not liking. It's not that they're weird or different. I mean, this is more of a holographic palette, but same concept. So it's not that I don't like. These go on and they might emphasize a little texture, but I felt like when I put these on the face, I've literally never seen cheek texture like that, and I haven't had that issue with any of the other stuff by Anastasia Beverly Hills, so I don't know if it was just this formula. They are creamy. They are super pigmented. I mean, beautiful. And honestly, I'm like one of the only people that has had that experience with her stuff, but on my face, for some reason, they look chalky. They just look undesirable in general. I mean, they are beautiful. I don't know if they're going to show up on camera from this far away, but they are beautiful highlights, just not for my skin. For me, they are chalky and they emphasize texture. However, I did also pick up the Bord de Plague highlighting and bronzing palette from NARS. That was a butcher and a half, but you get this giantly beautiful mirror, and then these are the shades you get. So there are, like, you know, 2 and 2, and then these bronzers over here. The bronzers, okay. The bronzers I am not in love with. These I had a hard time working with. They were almost chalky or not very pigmented when I put them on my face. I was very like, with those. But these highlights are so stunning. I mean, oh my gosh, like I barely touch them and it's just beauty. I can't even. They are the most stunning deal. And actually, you know what? Now that I look at it, this one right here, this shade, let's swatch that and put it under that Master Chrome, because yep, we have a dupe, ladies and gentlemen. The top one is the Master Chrome highlight. The bottom one is the really expensive NARS highlight. So, you know, something to consider. What shade is that? It's either Creek or Gallet. Creek, I don't know, but it's a dupe either way. Those are like literally the same exact shade. The NARS one is a tiny bit darker, but seriously so beautiful. These highlights are life. I love them. I haven't decided if I'm going to keep this palette yet because I don't like the bronzers, and with a high price point, I think this was like $55 or something like that. NARS is obviously expensive, and I love that packaging too. Is that beautiful? Like, oh my gosh, like smoky, sexy gorgeousness. But I haven't decided if I'm going to keep the palette yet because for that expensive, I need to love everything in it. But I wanted to show you guys it before I got rid of it, or if I get rid of it. Again, I don't know. I am obsessed with those highlights, so I might not. But oh, so stinking beautiful. I can't. NARS highlights. Why do you do this to me, NARS? Why do you do this to me every time? Okay, one of the other things I wanted to mention real quick was the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Breakout Concealer. I am loving this, but I'm not sure 100% why. I don't know how that makes sense. I can't say that it works really well to fight acne. It's supposed to be a treatment concealer, meaning that you use it to cover your acne, and it also fights, decreases puffiness or whatever of the acne it is covering. So in concept, I think it's a great idea. What I'm not living for so much is I like it when I put it on the face. I think it covers really well. I don't know. That's the part that I don't know 100% is if it's actually fighting acne. I haven't noticed too much of it in that sense. Whew, that scared me. But I can say that it's a full coverage concealer. I actually like putting this down before foundation. If my breakouts are really, really bad or inflamed or whatever, I put this down over them. I actually did it today and it covered them very nicely. So I have been really enjoying this little guy. One liquid lipstick that I want to touch on real quick that I am not loving, I mentioned it I think in another video, it's from the Beauty Crop. It is the shade Date Night. I got this in a BoxyCharm, and you guys, I hated this. Like, I love the color. Like, the color is fantastic. It's like a beautiful, like, mauvey pink rose kind of color. It's gray. It dries down. Oh, you guys, it is a crumbly mess. I hate it. I don't even want it on my hand, but get off my hand. It didn't settle too bad into my fine lines. It just did not wear well. If you guys got BoxyCharm and you got this, did you have the same experience I did? Because, honey, I had a hot mess with this. Next thing I want to touch on some is this bad boy. If you guys did not see it, I will link it down below, but it is my review of the Kylie Cosmetics. It was her birthday kit that she came out with, and I wanted to talk a little bit about that because I have been going in pretty hard with this guy. I have been using a lot of the components from it, so I definitely have some hair in my mouth and some thoughts. The first thing I want to talk about is the I Want It All shadow palette. I have actually been really loving these shadows. They are very powdery to go in, but overall the color payoff is beautiful. I definitely have some favorites. I typically go in with Party Time, and then the New Black, which is the hot pink one in the middle, and then I've been rounding it out with Midnight. I mean, like, I make, and then Birthday Girl on the inside. I have been loving these shadows. I don't do a lot of diverse looks. I don't think it's a very diverse palette, but I do have a lot of fun when I play with it, and I love the blush and highlight that it has with it. I love the blush. It's, again, like a very light pink, kind of Barbie pink-esque, but it goes on beautifully. And then the confetti highlight that it comes with doesn't really lend well for my particular skin tone, and it's just such a beautiful rose gold highlight that I'm like, I don't even care. I'll find a use for it. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is going to be a little bit for me. The glosses, I just want to get this out of the way right now. Their glosses are so rich in pigment. They are super opaque, and I love their glosses. They're not sticky. They wear pretty well. They do bleed a little bit into like the outside of my mouth, so I try to keep them in the center. I'm not a big fan of that, but overall I think they are a beautiful gloss. The only thing that I'm not living from that really like surprised me was this lipstick. They're liquid lipstick in the shade 20. I've been using all of these liquid lipsticks. That's why a couple of them are missing. They're somewhere in some purse that I can't find. But when I went in with this, first of all, I love the lip liner. I'm pretty confident that it's a ColourPop lip liner. They just put Kylie Cosmetics on it. Her stuff, I'm pretty sure, is produced with ColourPop, so, you know, take what you will from that. And a lot of it even looks just like ColourPop. But the lip liner is fantastic. I don't have a problem with it. I'm not a big fan that for the price point I have to manually sharpen this. That pisses me off. I feel like for what you pay, honey, you could have at least given me one that rolls up. But who am I? The second thing I want to say, these liquid lipsticks. Ooh, I wanted this one in particular. It literally crumbled right off my mouth, like the cheapy, most nasty liquid lipstick, and I don't know what happened. I've worn it, I've tried to wear it multiple times, and it just crumbles right off. Like, literally, I go from here, I film, and I say my outro, whatever. I go and I'll grab like my jewelry out of the bathroom and my perfume out of the bathroom, and before I can even get out the door, I'm like, God, I wish I hadn't put this on my mouth. It's that crumbly and uncomfortable that I can't even stand. Now, there is one or two shades, they're probably the two shades that are missing, from this palette that I have not experienced that with. They were very comfortable to wear and I didn't have a huge problem with them, but I want to wear these shades more before I give final thoughts. I don't know if it was just that this is like a darker shade. I don't know what happened, but this is awful, and I've had it a little bit with some of these, but overall right now I cannot recommend the liquid lipsticks until I get a little bit more wear under my belt. But I did want to tell you that this is awful. I can say that with like a fair amount of certainty that I do not like it. Not from there, but from that same video, I picked up the Kylie, what is this? Just like a highlighter or pressed illuminating powder in the shade French Vanilla. I am crazy about this highlight. It is beautiful. I do have a hard time with the way that it swatches. It kind of comes off a little bit chunky when I swatch it, but like, look at that. That is so stunning. It's right here in case you're not blinded by it. It's just a stunning, and it is very like French vanilla-esque in the look and feel and tone of it. And I'm crazy about this highlight. I think that it blends so beautifully, and I think it would work for a lot of different skin tones, olive toned, you know, cool toned, whatnot, and you can really mix this to make it work for you. But I'm obsessed with this highlight and I can't stop wearing it. Okay, just to throw them in there, two totally random products I want to talk about. This is the Method limited edition Sweet Water hand soap. It's one of those like foamy pump ones, and this is, it says limited edition. If we had a signature scent, this watery wonder would be it. And this scent of this stuff is life. I'm obsessed. Oh my God. And I'm a big sucker for like soaps and all that kind of stuff. I'm obsessed with different hand soaps and stuff. I have a theory that one day when people want to show how much they love me, they're just going to mail me soaps and cleaning products because I'm obsessed with them. And this was no exception, you guys. I can't explain it. I can't tell you the undertones. I'm not that, you know, woo woo woo. But what I can tell you is that if you're at the store and you see this bottle, you should probably stop and smell it. It smells different in the bottle than it does when you put it on. When you put it on, it smells better. But oh my God. This is like one of my favorite purchases of the month because I'm obsessed with this soap. The other thing I want to talk about, I don't know that I've talked about it. I might have talked about it in my last video. I don't know. But it is the Donna Karan Cashmere Mist Deodorant Antiperspirant. It is a roll-up deodorant. It's Cashmere Mist by Donna Karan. So if you are not familiar with that scent, then you should probably get familiar with it. But I tried this as a recommendation from an old Tati video, the Glam Life Guru. I don't even know. I don't know what the hell her handle is, but I tried this and it was like a $40 deodorant. Like, it is not cheap. Donna Karan is very high end. But I was like, girl, why would you spend that much on a deodorant? And then I got thinking, like, you know, I've spent a lot more on weirder things. So I decided to give this a try, and you guys, I actually love it. It does a great job as an antiperspirant. It does a great job covering smells. When I sweat, I sweat cashmere mist. So that is awesome. I have had a ton of luck with this. It's definitely a luxury purchase, given that it is a deodorant and it is that expensive. But just make sure that if you buy it, you buy it from somewhere with a return policy. So you can try it for like, you know, a couple days, see if it works for you. And if it doesn't, return it because, honey, you don't need that laying around. Okay, so the next brand you have seen on my channel probably a couple times. It is the ACV by DP Hue. I don't know what any of that means, but this is something I have used for quite some time now. It is the apple cider vinegar hair rinse. I use this about once to twice a week. It really is amazing at like taking out, like for me, the grease and like dry shampoo buildup and like all the shit that just like sits in my hair that I have a hard time getting out with shampoo. This does such a great job. So when I went into Ulta and I saw that there were so many other products by this brand, I was just like, yeah, I have to drop them, duh. But I had to try them, and I just realized that the apple cider vinegar rinse has been open this whole time. Ooh, that's not good. Yeah, it's all over my pillow. My bad. But these other products, you guys, I tried the Hair Renew Mask, the detangling spray, the shampoo, the conditioner, and the dry shampoo. And each one of them was kind of supposed to do a little bit something, but basically they were all supposed to help your hair in one way or another. Now, I don't know about other people, but when I think of like, oh, this product is going to help my hair, my first thought is like, I should be able to tell the difference that I've used it, right? So I go in with the shampoo and the conditioner, and I'm like, my hair still feels dirty, my hair still feels weird, and it's just, I'm not loving it. This was the Renew shampoo and the Renew conditioner. They are to strengthen and rejuvenate, and they are sulfate free with hibiscus green tea and shea butter. So they went together, these two did, and they didn't, I felt like they didn't clean my hair. I felt like this apple cider vinegar rinse, like their little sister over here, did so much more for me than these ever did. And then I got out and I was like, okay, well, the next time around it'll be different, but for right now, let's maybe try the Easy and Natural Detangling Spray. I didn't like it. It's a leave-in therapy apple cider vinegar type detangling spray, and it made my hair feel really like heavy. And I don't know if the difference is that this one I get to rinse out in the shower and this one stays in my hair, but what I can say is that I didn't like this. I don't know, it does say that it has some aloe vera and macadamia oil. Maybe it's the oils in it that make it feel heavier. I don't know. I didn't notice that it helped with detangling. I didn't notice that it did anything good for my hair, and I did not like this. And in case you were wondering, I have fine hair. I have a lot of fine hair. So I have thick hair, but like very, very thin hair strands. So I have a lot of thin hair. It's very oily, very greasy, and very pain in the assy. Now, the other two items that I tried from this whole line, and like you guys, these are not cheap. These are like 30 bucks a bottle, like very high end, and not very high end, but high end for me, okay? I use Batiste dry shampoo, okay? And this stuff's like, what, like $4 a bottle? And then I go and I buy their version, and it's like freaking like $22 a bottle. And I'm like, you know what? Apple cider vinegar dry shampoo. Why not? Like, again, I'm thinking that I love this one. Woo! In the shower, it was like slipping out of my fingers because it's all wet because it spilled all over my bed. So funny. So I tried this, and I don't think it says on the bottle that it absorbs oil from your hair and your scalp, that it extends your style, and it's color safe. It's infused with lavender. Well, first of all, I didn't smell any lavender. Lavender is one of my favorite oils. It's one of my favorite scents. I didn't smell it. I have a great nose. I would have smelled it. I did not, which was really disappointing because I wanted it to smell more like lavender than apple cider vinegar because that shit kind of stinks. And it definitely had that same like apple cider vinegar smell that I don't really like. And I was not living for it. I didn't feel like it really did a great job absorbing the oils or doing anything. And I didn't live for him. And then the last one that I tried the last time I got in the shower, like, okay, we're going to give these products one more go, was the DP Hue Do Professional Renew Hair Mask Therapy. Now, this is supposed to be like a, okay, you know, wash your hair. Okay, now you put your shampoo in. Okay, rinse that. Okay, now we're good. You put this in. You let it sit there for like 5 to 10 minutes or however long, up to 15 minutes according to the back. And then you rinse it out before you get out of the shower, like any deep conditioning mask. Now, I normally use the Briogeo or whatever the hell it's called hair mask. It's the leave-in shower therapy thing. Rinse it out before you get out of the shower. It's great. My hair always feels so good and alive and rejuvenated when I get out of the shower. So I was expecting greatness with this. And I was really let down because literally my hair felt like I hadn't even conditioned it. Not even with like a regular conditioner. It felt like nothing had happened. I was like, okay, well, maybe the benefit of the doubt. I tried it a second time. Still nothing. Maybe it'll happen when I get out of the shower. Nothing. Like literally did nothing for my hair. And I was just so blown away that I could try, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different products, and I love this apple cider vinegar rinse. So I can try the entire rest of the brand, and I hated it, but I love this so much that I will probably never be without it again. So the moral of the story, kids, is that just because you love one thing from a brand does not mean you will love everything else. Oh, and these get an honorable mention just because they were slightly awful. The Whoosh Beauty Everything, I didn't like any of it. I like the mascara from the Lash Shield right here, but that's it. Like everything else, you guys, I didn't like the line. I'll link those videos down below. Sweet baby Jesus, deliver me. It was a nightmare. Okay, the final item on my docket of this huge, long situation here is the Anastasia Subculture palette. Now, this one I wanted to take a second to talk about. It has been all the buzz, as you all know, and I have some thoughts about this. The first thing I want to say is that I wasn't one of those people that like, oh, I'm just going to sit here and poke it and poke it and poke it. I wasn't one of those people because A, I don't want to ruin my damn palette, and B, I don't normally do that in real life, so like why would I do that now? I didn't pick up my Jaclyn Hill palette and go, oh, I better check it and see if they fall out. To me, it doesn't make sense. I understand why they would care and why they would do it, but it doesn't make sense to me, and I would never do it, so I didn't do it. I wanted to say a couple things about the shades. I've played with this a ton. I've had a lot of experience with it, and now I did do a first impressions, which I can link down below, but I wanted to give you my final thoughts. I think that the lighter shades in this palette, the Dawn, Roxy, New Wave, Edge, those shades are fucking, they're fire. Those shades are fire. They are beautiful. I love them so much. They literally go on like a dream. They are ultra. This palette is ultra pigmented. If you're looking for pigmentation, you will find it here. The problem is that, and this is something that I did agree with all the other people that were like hating on it and like having so many issues, I did agree with them on, that I had a difficult time with like Rowdy and Axis, those two deep colors on the end. They did not blend well for me. They had a hard time blending into other shadows. They turned a deep muddy color, and every time I've used them without fail, with only this palette, like it's just these colors, the problem that I had was it turned muddy instantly. So that is the one thing that I do agree with them on. I do think that it turns a weird, like almost like a color that you can't understand. Like you're like, well, how the hell did that happen? How did this beautiful, you know, orange, yellow, smoky turn into brown when I added one color? honestly, they don't blend that well, these two darker shades. Now, with that being said, I've had a ton of success with most of the rest of the palette. This cube shade really disappointed me. I don't understand the purpose of it. I don't like it. This shade, but I didn't like it from really the beginning. It didn't do anything. The other two shimmer shades are okay, but overall, you guys, I would not trade this palette just because I look at this and I think of fall. And so many of the shades are good, and normally my rule, as you guys know, I just said it with NARS, I just said it with every palette ever. For the price point of whatever these are, like $50 some or $45, something like that, I need to love the palette. Not like one or three shades. I need to love the damn palette because I'm not that rich. I didn't get it for free in PR and I need to love it, right? Well, this one was literally one of the only exceptions I've ever made to that rule. And it's because the shadows in here that I love, I love them, and when I look at this palette, I think of fall. When I look at this palette, it is the embodiment of ease to me. And the way I'm looking at it is maybe there will be a day, like what if I'm looking for that like smokable type deal? I will find a use for these shades. It might not be ideal, it might not be what everyone thinks it should be, and yada yada yada, but this is one of those palettes. This is probably the only exception I have made to the rule of I need to love almost all of it. Like if there's one shade you don't like, okay, whatever. But for me, there's probably 1, 2, 3, 4, I would say 4 shades solid, like these two and then these two shimmers that I'm not living for, but I would not get rid of the palette, I don't think. Not as of yet. I wouldn't get rid of the palette for just those reasons, because I'm loving it, and I wanted to just update you guys a little bit on that because I know that there was so much talk about it and you'll get everyone's opinion, and it's not like, oh, I want to throw mine in the ring and like, oh, I hope everyone listens to me. I want you guys to have like a normal person's, I say this all the time, a normal person's perspective. I am not a makeup artist. I'm not professional, quite frankly. There are days I'm not really that good at makeup. I just do it because I love it and because I have fun doing it, and it helps me center and focus. And so I want you to have like the perspective of someone that like isn't professional about their kind of stuff. You know, someone that does use cheap brushes, someone that really does, like, I would be just like you sitting in your living room doing your makeup with you, that kind of thing, or wherever you do your makeup. But those are my thoughts on this palette, you guys. It's just, I can't say that I would recommend that you run out and buy it, but if you already have it, those are my thoughts. It's nothing that I would be like, oh, I definitely think you should buy, but I do think it's a good palette, and I think that they caught a lot of crap for things that to me were blown insanely out of proportion. Again, my opinion, everyone gets one. Okay, you guys, that is it for this video. I hope that you liked it. I hoped it was helpful. If you have any questions or thoughts or concerns, let me know in the comments, you guys. That's what we are here for. We are here to do this together in the comments section. You can also follow me on social media. I have all the handles down below in case you're curious for those. And I try to put out content almost every single day. So if you're looking for someone that's consistent, if you're looking for someone with a lot to say, and if you're looking for someone with a little bit of character, maybe a little too much, you found her. She's here. So if you don't like those characteristics, I suggest you leave because I'm a whole hella hoot. So I don't think I have anything else to say for once in my life. This is like my 18th attempt at filming today. So I'm just going to go because I'm exhausted, you guys. I don't know how I'm going to thumbnail this because there are so many products. But I will talk to you guys all later. If you have anything that you want to see, any questions, whatnot, hit me up in the comments. I read them, and I will talk to you guys all later. So much fun. So much fun.